Hello, I am Protected Son, Nicole Lebrassard, and this is an open letter to the Assembly of First Nations Chiefs, Sean Atleo, Clan Mothers, Elders, and all nations. 2012 will either be a new beginning in true democracy and justice for all, or the final implementations of a new world order, a one world government, through the continued execution of the 1969 White Paper, and the step-by-step dismantling of your authority as keepers and caretakers of these lands, natural resources, including your reservation lands and your treaties. We come to you to awaken you to the truth, even if you refuse to see it, hear it, or acknowledge it, and to warn you to beware and be wise. Whatever happens in the next few months or the next few years will be of our own doing. Only we bear full responsibility as peoples of the earth. Whether we act upon the facts of the New World Order publicly spoken about by world leaders and presidents for the last 20 years of its final implementation or not, is each of our responsibility. As creator beings, we are each accountable not only for ourselves through our actions, but for our families and all of humanity, the earth, and all life. The time to react is now before it is too late. The 1969 White Paper, drafted by Pierre Elliott Trudeau and Jacques Chrétien, then further implemented by Brian Mulroney, Paul Martin, and now Stephen Harper, was a stepping stone to a one-world government, which has been continuously implemented through the duplicity of false pretenses, which all now make sense when seeing the bigger picture of a new world order, one world government. The North American Union has been formally negotiated through the free trade agreements since 1985, and now completed with the signing of the Security and Prosperity Partnership Agreements. The next step is to attach us to the South American Union, the EU, and China with Australia, etc., all under the pretext of trade negotiations. This will be the completion and success of their one world government of the North, East, South, and West, enabling them in controlling everything and everyone worldwide. You and we will be at their mercy even more than ever if we persist in doing nothing and believing their words. We must once and for all take action in stopping the one world government as it is led by corporations and the elite and heads of governments and not the people. You hold the key to world peace, respect, and prosperity, not just for a few, but for all of humanity. You always have, through the great law, white roots of peace. Your ancestors knew the true Creator. This is why they could communicate with all life. They understood nature, love, and respect for all living things. Many of you were given the tools by them to continue and to teach this to all for the next 7 generations. Some way, somewhere, it has been lost, or forgotten, or not known, or simply ignored. The Haudenosaunee Five Nations Constitution, the Great Law, in your roots, is the greatest asset and tool the earth and humanity has and will ever see. The moment that the people forgot the true Creator and who they were through the duplicity of those who took part, and that have succeeded at removing the inner power of the good mind, the strength within your communities, and your people's voices from being heard through the original roots of the Constitution and the Great Law, by implanting bought and paid for representatives, was done to keep you from your true connection to Creator, and then proceed in separating you and us all from the true meaning of life and true peace and democracy here on earth. And this is our greatest downfall if we continue to allow it to happen. The Indigenous original peoples as North American sovereigns, and we as Canadian and United States citizens, can stand together and stop this New World Order through proper decolonization from the colonial system, and all that the governing bodies are attached to, and of which they themselves have implemented within the United Nations Decolonization Declaration of 1960. In unloading nations, they no longer had anything to take from, except for those countries and peoples they could take and steal from. They want you to incorporate taxation and fee simple land registries upon your reserves, further dividing what your peoples own as nations. All they do and want you to do is to pave the way for the one world order takeover by the corporations. To do this, they must assimilate you and everyone on earth. Will the governments deny these words? Of course they will. They lie, cheat, and steal, and then claim they were trying to help you. Corporations are fiction, an illusion created to hold more power than the people and their voices. This is how Canada and the United States of America were birthed, within the corporate illusion as being above natural peoples of the earth. When the corporate illusion speaks louder than the voices of the people, as they do now, it is time to dismantle the corporation illusion, power from governments worldwide. Fixing this is simple. We simply transfer final decision-making authority to the people, and not to one person or a small group that can breed corruption, just like in the true way of the Haudenosaunee Great Law. We simply put things back as they should have been in the first place. When the people make the decisions, then there can be no corruption. All are equals, all are responsible. As some of you know, we had taken upon ourselves to file a negligence and abuse of power court claim against Canada and Stephen Harper, the USA, and Barack Obama for proper decolonization to the Federal Court of Canada, even though we knew it would most likely be stricken from the registry. However, and thankfully, through this undertaking, we received the proof that the Queen is still the head of Canada, and we were never free of her rights in Canada. But we are not done, and we will persist. And most importantly, what this move has done for us all is that it gave us attention within the Occupy movements. Many now see the reality and solution that is needed by supporting the North American nations in proper decolonization, along with all of its citizens, not just to your reserves, but to the right in retrieving as caretakers of the lands all of North America. It is legal and our right if we choose it, even in the colonial system and the United Nations rules. Since the beginning of October, many protesters are now moving towards changing the Occupy movements in the cities to decolonize movements. This is fact. People are finally waking up to the reality of the insidious treatment of the indigenous peoples worldwide, now that they have been awakened to their own reality, making it that they see the indigenous peoples as a huge part of the solution in stopping the New World Order, one world government being imposed. It is no longer mere speculation and propaganda. It is fact. This is the time to stand together and do what is right for all of humanity. It is a time to implement the Haudenosaunee Five Nations Constitution, roots within all clans and all nations. It is time to rise up the clan mothers to their duties in continuing or re-establishing themselves and their voices that have been muffled, and for the chiefs and for the clan mothers to listen to the people, as this too has been neglected in many nations for far too long. Reinstating the Great Law and practicing it is true democracy, and ensures that there is no corruption and duplicity within each nation. As many nations have suffered through the infiltration of bought and paid for councils, lawyers, and advisors, who should have known about your rights to all of North American lands through proper decolonizations, since as far back as 1945. Please remember that you are not alone, and that all can change for the better if we all stand together and put an end to this 500-plus year insanity, and to the insanity of what is to come if we do nothing. Set aside all differences and all past doings, and support one another instead of fighting amongst each other, succeeding at nothing that is pure and good. We all need to remember that only Creator law is absolute and is unbreakable, and that the capstone of the New World Order can be crushed by the power of love, the good mind, and respect for all life. What we are asking and hoping for is for you all to remember who you are as Creator beings, that you hold the key, and to remember the 1969 White Paper, and to not allow yourselves to be influenced by those who only deceive, especially during your meetings with Stephen Harper and others, as they will try to sway you and stop you from moving forward in doing what is right for your nations, North America, and all of humanity and all life on earth. One thing is for certain, though, the heads at the top of the New World Order pyramid are not worried about what we might do, because they think that they are guaranteed a hold on all of humanity as long as we keep feeding what they use against us through separation that lie and use people against one another about the true Creator. We just need to follow the money to see the truth of their lies and deceit. At some point, people need to use common sense and truly search their hearts and research to find the truth hidden within the lies and corruption. What has happened throughout history and happening today makes no common sense for anyone who dares to stand and look through the looking glass, seeing the entire picture presenting itself to all of humanity. Anything that separates all life and all peoples from one another are not connected to the true creator of all life. As all life is equal, we are all equals within creator of all and creation. There is no separation. So to everyone, all of humanity, and especially to those who have lost their way or have forgotten, please remember who you are within creation. And once you do remember, you will know that with love, patience, understanding by everyone, all can be well again as intended by Creator before the veils of deceit and separation invaded humanity. Respectfully yours, and with much love and gratitude. Protected Son, Nicole Brassard. Thank you.